Good afternoon, everyone. A pleasant election day.
Good afternoon po.
Good afternoon, teacher.
Afternoon.
Okay, so before anything else, at the end of the lesson, the learners should be able to first identify the different types of groups in society. Second, appreciate the importance of interactions in the society and differentiate the bureaucracy and McDonaldizations. Okay? How society is organized. Okay, class, in your own understanding, with the line appears in our screen this time, what is your answer if you're going to ask or you will be asked this line, how society is organized or how should society be organized? Anyone? Halimbawa, someone will going to ask you how society is organized or how should society be organized. What will your answer or what will be your answer? John Ray?
Can I give an example?
Yes?
In China, there's a thing called a credit system, and depending on your credit, that's how high you are in society. So A, B, C, D. The lower your credit score, the less the government cares about you.
Okay. Thank you so much, John Ray, no? Okay, yun yung practice sa China, no? And on that way, no, doon yung, kumbaga, yun yung way nila, in order for the government organize their society. Okay, thank you so much, John Ray, for your example. That is a very good example. What about the others, no? If we're going to ask a question or a question just like that, or a line that how society is organized, how will you able to answer that one? Barbie?
Paggawa po ng batas, ma'am, or rules and regulations po.
Okay, thank you so much, Barbie. Yes, that's correct also, no? Paggawa ng batas, rules, no? Yung mga law na sinusulong ng ating sa kataas-taasan, no? In order for the society to be organized. Okay, what else? Mayroon ba kayong answer? Mayroon dito, they are organized by their interest. Yes, that's correct also. Different groups help the society organize. Yes, that's correct also, no? Different groups such as primary, secondary, in-group, out-group help the society organize. Yes, that's very good. Sino ito? And we're going to talk about that later as part of how society is organized. Okay? So people have organized themselves into groups with common rules of living. Okay? The organizations of such a group is called society. There are different institutions are found in every community, such as what? Such as your family, kin relationships, the child care, the divisions of work based on your gender and your age, and etc. All societies, either it's small or large, are organized around an even division of labor and decision making, and the present societies are expected to provide protection, economic security, law and order, and a sense of belonging to their members. Diba? Like for example, even in your own selves, diba? Mayroon kang sinusundan, no? Mayroon kang tawag nito. You have your own way on how to be organized in yourselves. Like for example, fixing your clothes, no? Fixing your room, diba? Because that's you, no? That is you being on how, that is you, no? On being organized in your own self. So even in society, no? Meron pa rin tayong tinatawag na mga tawag nito. Meron tayong tinatawag na or on how we are going to be organized as a group or defined as a group, no, in our society. So for today's lesson, we will going to talk about the groups, no, within society and the formal organizations, and we will be understand and analyze the forms and functions of every social organizations, and we will going to be appreciate the importance of interactions in the society. So first of that, we're going to talk about groups within society. But now the question is, or before we proceed, let me ask everyone if what is your idea about social group or what is social group for you? Dali.
Social group can be defined as collection of people who regularly interact with one another on the basis of shared expectation concerning behavior and who share a sense of common identity.
Yes, that's correct. No, thank you so much, Dali. When we say social group, it is can defined as a collection of people who regularly interact with one another on the basis of shared expectations concerning behavior and who share a sense of common identity. And as a result of this interaction, the members of a group feel a common sense of belonging. Okay, from the word self, no, a collection of people, meaning it consists of members or composed of members, which is two or more than two, no? But there is an interaction, okay? It consists of such members as have a reciprocal relations, meaning reciprocal, no? Give and take, no? And both of you, like for example, you are sisters, no? You are a group, you are a social group because you are, aside from being aside from being sisters, you are interacting with each other, and you can benefit, no? You have both of you can benefit of that, okay? Hindi yung like for example, hindi yung friend kayo pero I mean group kayo pero wala kayong interaction. So hindi yun siya matatawag na social interaction. At least because when we say social group, it has it is a group of people with have an interaction and it is reciprocal, meaning give and take. Lahat kayo is makaka-benefit, no? Or in whatsoever or whatever the goal na meron kayo. Okay? Like for example, your family, no? Your family, or as a family, of course, you are interacting with each other. You are helping each other and you have a common goals for your family and you are sharing a sense of unity. Ano pa ba? Who can give me more example of social group? You can put your answers in our chat box if you are shy to unmute or raise your hand. No? What else? What else are the examples? Rotary, yes, best friends, no? What else? No, marami pa, no? Your classmates, no? Your classmates, your workmates, or workmates of your parents, no? Sports team, yes, that's a social group, no? Because you're interacting to each other. So we have here okay, so according to Green, a group is an aggregate of individuals which persist in time, which has one or more interests and activities in common and which is organized. But then according naman to Page and Macber, it is an any collection of human beings who are brought into social relationship with one another. So meaning, no, meron talagang interaction, hindi lang siya grupo. Hindi lang siya grupo na grupo lang kayo, pero hindi kayo hindi kayo nagpapansinan or whatsoever. So hindi kayo matatawag na social group because social group, no, is a collection of human beings, no, na mayroon talagang interaction. And we have here the characteristics of social group. So what are those? We have here the mutual awareness. Okay? Hindi ko makita na yung aking okay, so there are large numbers of groups such as primary, no? Sabi kanina sa group chat natin, mayroong primary groups, we have the secondary groups, we have the voluntary and involuntary groups, and so on and so forth. And sociologists have classified social groups on the basis of size, the local distribution, the permanence, the distribution of size and local distribution, the degree of intimacy, a type of organization, and quality of social interaction, or etc. And later on, we'll be going to discuss that different groups. And yung sabi nga kanina ni Chandra, na doon sa China, no, mayroon silang basis, no, kung ano yung magiging priority ng government doon. Okay? And for this time, let us know first the characteristics of social group. First, we have the mutual awareness. So the members of a social group must be mutually related to one another, and a more aggregate of individuals cannot constitute a social group unless reciprocal awareness exists among them. Okay? So mutual awareness or mutual understanding, you have to give and take. And whatever your goal is, both of you can benefit. So, like for example, you are classmates, no? Di ba, meron naman tayo minsan nagkakaroon tayo ng best friends sa ating mga classmates, no? And kayong dalawa, you can call as or pwede kayong matawag na social group. Pero, kung kayong dalawa na mag-classmates, na mag-best friends, ay nagpa-plastikan lang, and both of you, no, mayroon palang self-interest, hindi pa rin kayo matatawag na social group. It is because yung tawag nito, yung mutual awareness is hindi nag-i-exist sa inyo. Okay? So when we say social group and under the mutual awareness, dapat is give and take kayo. And both of you, no, can benefit kung ano man yung goals niyo sa inyong life, being a classmate. So halimbawa, goals ninyong magtulungan, no? Goals ninyong maka-graduate. That is why you are helping each other. No, you have your mutual awareness. Okay? Second is the one or more common interest. So ano naman yun siya? Groups are mostly formed for the fulfillment of certain interests. The individuals who form a group should possess one or more than one common interest and ideals. It is for the realization of common interest that they met together, and groups always originates and starts and proceed with a common interest. Yun nga sabi ko kanina, no, under the mutual awareness. Kung meron kayong mutual awareness, ibig sabihin, meron kayong common interest. Okay? Second is sense of unity. Okay? For the sense of unity, each social group requires sense of unity and the feeling of sympathy for the development of a feeling or sense of belongingness. The members of a social group develop common loyalty or feeling of sympathy among themselves in all matters because of this sense of unity. So yun kanina yung example ko. Halimbawa, ang magbe-best friend kayo. Diba? Kung ano yung problema ng best friend mo ay tawag nito, you're going to help her or going to help him, no? Because you have this intimacy relationship. It is because you are best friend. Pero maliban na lang nga kung nagpa-plastikan kayong dalawa. Okay? Next characteristic of social group is the we feeling. Ano naman sa we feeling? So when we say a we feeling, no, we meaning tayo, no, in a group, no, a sense of we feeling refers to the tendency on the part of the members to identify themselves with the group. They treat the members of their own groups as friends and the members belonging to other groups as outsiders. Okay, so halimbawa kayo magbe-best friend kayo, halimbawa kayong lahat, di ba usually naman ganyan tayo, no, sa loob ng classroom, kung sino yung mga matatalino, yan, sila yung lahat. Kung sino yung mga mayayaman, yan. There are still circle of groups inside your classroom. Tapos yung mga friends mo doon na hindi kasali sa grupo nyo is minsan they really can feel that they are out of place, no? And for the we feeling, they cooperate with those who belong to their groups and all of them protect their interests unitedly. No? Halimbawa, may kalaban yung isa. Diba kayo magbe-best friend? May kalaban yung isa. Kalaban ng best friend mo, kalaban mo na rin. No? Sometimes ganun, di ba? Do you agree with that? Okay, and we feeling generates sympathy, loyalty, loyalty, and fosters cooperation among members. Yun nga sabi ko, halimbawa, sa inyong grupo, no? May kalaban yung kaibigan mo, kalaban nyo na din lahat, no? Kasi nga mayroon kayong tinatawag na loyalty in your group. You have sympathy, no, in your group. Okay? Next is the similarity of behavior. Okay, number 5 pa lang tayo. For the similarity of behavior, the fulfillment of common interest, the members of a group behave in a similar way. And social group represents collective behavior and the modes of behavior of the members in a group are more or similar. Diba sometimes in a group, no, minsan na-adapt natin yung ugali ng ating mga kaibigan. Diba? Do you agree of that one? No? Minsan is kung ano yung okay, sorry, choppy ako. Hindi ko napansin. Thank you for that. Okay, what about this time? I am still choppy. Shopee pa ba? Hindi na. Sige. Saan na nga ako? Ayan nga. Diba, sometimes in a group, no, or your best friends, kung ilan man kayo sa grupo nyo, no, minsan dahil sa araw-araw nang magkasama kayo, no, na-adapt mo na yung ugali ng isa, no, yung behavior nyo is pareho na din. Like, for example, di ba, if na, I don't know if you heard this news before or nanonood kayo ng Rafi Tulfo in action, kasi ako, nanonood talaga ako palagi ng Rafi Tulfo in action. Yung mga group na mga tawag nito, yung group of teenagers before na parang yung issue is parang hinarang nila yung isang estudyante or isang teenager doon sa loob ng CR and pinagtulungan nila. Ayun. Tapos na-Rafi Tulfo silang lahat, mga teenager, mga group of teenagers pa lang yun. Parang gang-gang yun doon sa kanilang lugar. Okay. Then yung sabi nila during the interview, sabi ng na-interview, ma'am, kasi kalaban kasi siya ng ano, kaya nadamay na lang din ako. Parang gano'n. Kumbaga, tinulungan ko lang din naman. Yun, di ba? Kasi nagkaroon sila ng isang bad influence or I don't know, bad influence doon sa kanilang grupo. So na-adapt na rin nila, no? Na-adapt na rin nila yung behavior or yung actions na ipinapakita or na-share sa kanila ng kanilang kaibigan. That is why sa trouble na yon is damay-damay na sila. Okay? That is why, no, mapapansin niyo, minsan parang tawag dito, yung mga ating actions or even though on how we dress, no? Minsan kahit kung tingnan mo lang, parang magkamukha na sila kasi lagi silang magkasama. Okay? For the number 6 is group norms. For the group norms, each and every group has its own ideals and norms, and the member are supposed to follow this. He who deviates from the existing group's norms is severely punished. Okay? And these norms may be in form of customs, folkways, mores, traditions, and laws, and etc. And they may have be written or unwritten, and the group exercises and some controls over its members through the prevailing rules or norms. So like for example, no, magbabarkada kayo. Sa inyong magbarkada, mayroong lalaki at babae, like for example, ganun. Tapos yung ang inyong doon, ang inyong group norms, no, or nagkaroon kayo doon ng tawag nito, like law, no, na doon lang sa inyo na halimbawa, bawal niyong i-boyfriend or i-girlfriend, no, yung kabarkada ninyo. Halimbawa, si boy, bawal niyang i-girlfriend si girl doon sa in a circle of your friends. Pero ang nangyari, si boy, girlfriend niya pa rin yung kabarkada ninyong isa. So bawal yun siya kasi pinag-usapan ninyo, no? Kasi dito, it can be written or it can be unwritten. So ang ginawa nila, they became in a relationship or yeah, yun nga. And ang ginawa ninyo sa inyong grupo is kinick out niyo siya doon sa inyong grupo. Kasi nga, they deviate, no? They deviate your norms inside your groups. Okay? Do you follow? Can I have a thumbs up if you get the point? No? Yun example ng group norms. So, mayroon siyang, in your circle of your friends, mayroon kayong batas na ginawa-gawa lang naman, no? And kung mayroong nag-deviate doon, or mayroong hindi, mayroong, tawag ba doon sa ano bang deviate na tawag nito? Kumbaga, hindi niya sinunod, no? Yung batas na ginawa-gawa niyo doon is pwede niyo siya ma-kick out. Okay? That is what we have called the group norms. Okay, so we have here now the categories of social group, no? Let us know the categories of social group. So we have here, for us to understand more the social group, no? Let us know it and or let us know it more, and it will be better for us to describe the categories or groups, no? That is based on standards. So we have here, we have 6. We have the primary group, secondary groups, the in-group, out-group, reference group, and the networks. Okay, so I already sent you, no, the advanced reading. Can I have a thumbs up if nagbasa kayo doon? Sige nga, can I have a thumbs up? Kung sino yung mga nagbasa doon sa aking sinend, no? Okay. Okay, para, ayan. 3 lang. 3 lang yung nagbasa ng ating tawag nito, na isend na advanced learning doon sa Google Classroom. Okay, so we're going to discuss it one by one, the categories of social group. Wala din natanggap na notification. I sent tawag nito, the advanced learning sa ating Google Classroom, and then nag-send din ako ng message sa ating, tawag nito, Google Hangouts, na group chat. Okay? Sige. Okay, now let us proceed to the primary group. Okay, according to our advanced learning, kung sino mo yung nagbasa doon, who can explain the primary group? Anyone from the class can explain the primary group? What is primary group? Kindly raise your hands. Parang pabalik-balik lang yung nakikita ko nagtataas ng kamay talaga. But I'm going to call dito sa mga hindi nagtataas ng kamay. Okay, for a while. Charles?
Teacher.
Yes, can you explain, or in your own understanding lang naman, how can you explain or define primary group in your own understanding?
Primary group is like a first class person who experience all of he or she needs and wants.
Okay, the first class person. Okay, thank you so much, Charles. What about the others? Yes, Valenzuela.
It is a small group, miss, and for example, family or close friend.
Yes, very good, no? When we say primary group, it is our main group, no? It is our main group. When we say primary group, it is a small, it is a small, intimate, and less specialized groups whose members engage in face-to-face and emotions-based interactions over extended period of time. So, tama yun. Example kanina is our family, no? It is the most simple. Okay, or the primary group is the most simple and universal form of association. It is nucleus of all social organization. It is small group in which a small number of persons come into direct contact with one another and they meet face to face for mutual help, no? And companionship and discussion of common questions. They live in the presence and thought of one another. It is a small group in which the members live together. So the example here is our family. Okay? What else? Ano pa ba? Ano pa bang pwede natin maibelong sa primary group? Aside from our family. As long as we have an intimate relationship with that particular person, we can consider that person as our primary group. Okay? Sige. You can give me more example. Close friends. Yes, that's correct, no? Close friends. Best friends, no? Best friends sometimes, kumbaga yung turing natin sa kanila is sobra pa sa tinatawag nating family, no? Kasi sometimes there are chances, no, na hindi tayo makapagsabi ng ating mga problema towards our parents, pero sa ating mga closest friends, sa ating mga best friends, no, we can tell them, no, we can talk to them, no, na parang sobra pa sa ating mga kapatid, di ba? Classmates. How about partners relationship, ma'am? If you considered your partner, no, halimbawa, of course, partner, nag-uusap kayo palagi, no, you have your care with each other, you have an intimate relationship with each other, of course, you can consider that as your primary group, no? Kasi nga, when we say primary group, no, mayroon kayong, tawag nito, mayroon kayong deep na relationship, no? Kumbaga, hindi lang siya contractual na tinatawag na relationship, but it is over extended period of time. Classmates, no? Classmates, primary group. Siguro depende doon sa relationship mo sa classmates mo. Siguro yung classmates mo, kung best friend mo siya, no? Kung best friend mo siya or close friends mo talaga siya, and then you can consider that as your primary group. Kasi meron naman kasing classmates lang na wala lang, classmates mo lang siya. Andito ka, nandoon siya, pero classmates kayo. Pero ang tanong is, do you consider her or do you consider him as your tawag nito, as your close friend, no? Komportable ka pa sa kanya, no? Kung ang tanong hindi, hindi siya primary group. Okay? Happy ako minsan, okay, I'm so sorry for that. Nag-appear kasi na minsan unstable yung aking internet connection. Barkada, no? What else? Work-related peers, no? Oh, mayroon talagang mga ganyan. Tawag nito. Mayroon talagang halimbawa, even though me, no, during my in my previous work, almost 8 years, 9 years kami nagsama sa isang office every day. Every day. So yung turing ko sa kanila is hindi lang talaga workmates, no? Hindi lang dahil hindi ko lang sila kasama on that particular day. Pero after that particular day is parang family ko pa rin sila. Kasi nga yung relationship ko sa kanila is mas nag-deepen na. Okay? Sige. Churchmate, no? Churchmate. Di ba? Best friends, peers, and etc. So, basta, let us just, alalahanin lang natin that when we say primary group class, no? It is a kind of a group, no, in our society na mayroong intimate relationship, no? Mayroon kayong, you can engage, you can share your emotions with each other, no? You can talk, no, na parang napaka-confident nyo or napaka-gaan ng feeling nyo, no, when talking to them, no? And it is just a small group, no? And meron talagang tinatawag na simpatiya with each other, no? Yung mga ganun na bagay. That is a primary group. Okay? Kapitbahay. Kapitbahay. Anong klaseng kapitbahay yan? Ano, Rowilyn? Explain nga, Rowilyn, kapitbahay. Bakit mo nasabing kapitbahay? Okay, siguro depende din, no, sa relationship mo doon sa kapitbahay mo. Siguro, kung yung kapitbahay mo, if you consider your kapitbahay as your family, kasi meron naman talaga, lalong-lalo na, no, kung sa barangay-barangay ka, nakatira, di ba, yung mga nasa isang community doon is parang pamilya mo na tinatawag, no? Pwede pa rin naman yun siya matawag nito. As long as you have an intimate relationship, no, you can consider that as your primary group. Okay? Sige. Let's proceed to the next slide. Okay. Ayan, yung classmates kanina, no? Pero depende pa rin sa relationship mo sa classmates mo, no? Kasi like nung sabi ko kanina, halimbawa, dito ka nakaupo, tapos classmates mo doon sa pinakalikod. Yan. Ang tanong dyan, close ba kayo? Or classmates lang talaga kayo, no? Sige. So we have here the characteristics of a primary group. So we have here now, or we can determine now, no? Kung paano ba natin malalaman na primary group or primary group na magtatawag yung grupo natin. Okay? First is closeness or physical proximity. Okay? When we say physical proximity or presence, physical proximity or presence provides an opportunity for the development of intimate and close relations. In order that relations of the people may be close, and it is necessary that their contacts also should be close. And seeing and talking with each other makes exchange of ideas and thoughts easy. Yun yung kanila sabi ko, na parang magaan na yung pakikitungo sa kanya, okay? It is because the members of primary group meet and talk frequently, and that a good feeling and sense of a sense of identify will develop among them quickly, okay? And relationships among primary group members are based on intimacy, not on contractual obligations, okay? So when we say primary group, hindi lang yun siya like for example, okay, pero example ko lang, pero later on we're going to discuss it. Halimbawa, sa isang varsity player or a varsity team, no? Di ba yung closeness nyo dyan, no? Yung closeness nyo, or you are just interacting with each other, no? It is because you are practicing, you are practicing for these sports or for that or whatsoever na activity, no, kung saan is you are interacting with each other. But then after that, wala na. Parang wala na. After ng game, after ng laro, wala na. Parang tawag nito, nag-say bye-bye na rin kayo doon. So yung inyong relationship or yung grupo ninyo is para lang siyang contractual. Okay? Next is smallness. Okay? So we can determine the group na primary siya if the cycle of the group is just a small or has a small member, no? Smallness, primary groups are smaller in size, okay? The smaller the size of the group, the greater will be the intimacy among its members, okay? A relationship can be intimate and personal only in a small group. It is a fact that intimacy declines as the size of the group increases, and the limited size of the group facilitates the participation of all its members in common or in its common activity. Okay, and better understanding and fellow telling among the members can be possible only when the group is small in size. So halimbawa, no, we can determine the group na tawag ito na primary kung maliit lang sila. It is because in that particular group or maliit lang kayo is mas madali kayong makadevelop, no, ng tinatawag na intimacy or closeness with each other, no? Next is durability. Okay, so primary group is relatively a permanent group. Okay, like for example, your family. Bakit hindi naman pwede ngayon family mo this year, next year iba na naman ang family mo, di ba? It is a permanent group. Halimbawa, your best friend, no? Even though nagkahiwalay kayo, pero best friend pa rin kayo. Mag-best friend pa rin kayo, okay? Intimacy between the members becomes deeper because they meet frequently and are closely associated with one another. The longer the duration of the acquaintance, the greater the intimacy. And all the members of the primary group try to fulfill the condition of continuity or the durability of relationship. Okay? So ako na-remember ko before during my college days, ng first course ko sa STI, no? Meron nagkaroon ako ng 2 best friend doon. And until now, that was 2011, and until now is we really contacting each other. Yun katibay yung aming relationship. It is because during that time, no, we really considered each other as talaga, parang sisters na talaga, na kung saan yung isa, doon din yung isa, kung ano yung gagawin ng isa, yun din ang gagawin ng isa, parang ganun, no? Okay, next is identity of ends. When we say identity of ends, members of a primary group have similar attitudes, no, desires, and objectives. So halimbawa sa inyong grupo, di ba, of course you have your goal. Like for example, best friend mo, meron kayong goal. Anong goal nyo? Makagraduate ng college, no? Makakita ng magandang trabaho, and that's your goal, no? And as a friend, as a best friend, no, you're going to help each other, no? Kasi nga meron kayong simpatiya sa isa't isa. Okay? They all work together for the fulfillment of their common end. Every member tries to promote the common welfare of his group, and experiences pain and pleasure, success and failure, prosperity and adversity of an individual members are shared by all the members of the group. Okay? Number 5 is relationship is an end in itself. What does it mean? Parang napakalalim. Parang ano yung sabihin nun? The primary relationship is regarded not as means to an end, but rather as an end itself. If the people make friends for a specific purpose or means, we cannot regard their friendship as genuine. A genuine friendship or true love is not formed for a purpose. It is above the consideration of any selfish interest or interest. And friendship is a source of pleasure. It is intrinsically enjoyable. The primary relation are voluntary and spontaneous because they possess intrinsic value. Okay, ganito yun siya, class. Like for example, you are, you are best friend, no? Yun nga, pabalik-balik tayo sa best friend. Kasi nga yung family, no? It is really given na talaga na ang family as an example of primary group. So doon tayo sa best friends. So like for example, your best friends. Of course, as a best friends, yung feelings nyo or yung relationship mo towards your best friends is genuine, no? Kumbaga, totoo yung pinapakita mo sa kanya, no? Dahil concerned ka sa kanya, and you gain a trust for that particular person, okay? And that can be considered as your primary group. Pero paano naman kung ikaw, no, best friend mo siya? Pero ikaw pala, hindi kanya tinuturing na best friend. It is because nakikipag-friend lang siya sa iyo kasi meron siya tinatawag na self-interest. No? Matatawag pa ba yun na primary group yun? What do you think, class? Sige nga, mag-chat nga kayo sa ating group chat. If you will going to consider that as your primary group pa din, no? Choppy pa rin ba ako? Okay. Sige. Again, no? Saan ba meron kang best friend? Ikaw best friend yung turing mo sa kanya. You know in your own self that your feelings towards her or him is genuine. Pero yung best friend mo na tinuturing, hindi best friend yung turing sa'yo. Can you still consider that as your primary group? Anyone? Okay, can I have a thumbs up if I am audible? No? Okay, sige. Thank you. Okay, now let's go back to my question. Pwede mo pa ba siya ma-consider as your, okay, ito, sabi niya, no, because the meaning of the friend is pure. Oo, siguro ma'am, kay may intimacy gihapon, kang nga gina-share sa iya, no? Yes? Okay, dito tayo sa, oh, siguro kay may intimacy. Okay, when we say, let us always remember class, no? Yes, there is an intimacy, but the question is, it is reciprocal, no? Kasi when we say primary group, dapat is give and take kayong dalawa. Kumbaga, pareho kayong, tawag nito, pareho kayong makabenefit whatever your goal is. Okay? So halimbawa, siya ginagamit ka lang, sakit naman nun, ginagamit ka lang niya. Ginagamit ka lang niya, we cannot consider that as our primary group. It is because yung relationship nyo doon, yung relationship niyo is that, yung relationship mo sa kanya is ano lang, hindi siya totoo. It is not genuine. Okay? Basta tandaan lang natin na when we say primary group, no, aside from our relationship towards them is intimate or there is an intimacy, no, genuine pa rin yun siya. Dapat is genuine siya. And ang tawag nito, yeah, it is a pure, no, and yung tawag nito, yung you can identify, no, yourself, your group as a talagang tawag nito. Mayroon kasi siyang term sa isip ko, hindi ko siya maalala. Basta yun siya, no? Dapat yun, give and take, no? Give and take kayong dalawa. Hindi yung siya lang yung makabenefit sa magiging goal ninyo. Okay? Sige, meron dito. Yan. According to Ruwilian, no, may emotions gihapon kay genuine ka man sa iya, no. Ikaw genuine ka sa kanya, pero yung best friend mo nga is hindi nga genuine sa iyo, no. That is why wala kayong tinatawag na reciprocal. It is because self-interest lang yung sa kanya, no. Self-interest lang yung ipinapakita niya sa inyo. And maybe after your after tawag nito, after your mag-classmates kayo after the classes, no? After mag-end na, nakagraduate na kayo, is wala na. Do you remember yung tawag dito, yung movie ni Christine Reyes and Ann Curtis? Yung nakalimutan ko yung title. 'Di ba? They mag-best friend sila, no? Pero after ng graduation, hindi na sila naging best friend, no? Parang nag-end na din yung kumbaga parang contractual lang. It is because si Ann Curtis doon is ginamit niya lang pala doon si Christine Reyes, no? Meron pala siyang self-interest na tinatawag. Even though si Christine Reyes doon is genuine yung ipinakita niya doon kay tawag nito. Genuine yung the gifted, yun din siya, 'di ba? Genuine talaga yung pinakita ni Christine Reyes doon sa kanya, no? Pero si Ann Curtis, no? Ginamit niya lang yung friendship nila ni Christine Reyes. So, after nila graduate ng high school, wala na. Parang natawag na lang na contractual yung relationship nila. Kasi nga, hindi naman sila both naka-benefit doon. Although, naka-benefit talaga doon si tawag nito, si Ann Curtis, kasi nga, siya yung lahat nakakuha ng award, no? Diba? Pero si Christian is wala. Yan. Parang gano'n yun siya. Basta tandaan lang natin, ang tawag nito, when we say primary group, no, it is an extended, no, kumbaga, extended period of time. Okay? Yung hindi siya nag-e-end talaga, it is a permanent group. Okay? Okay, doki? Sige. Next is relationship is personal. Masakit yung ano ko. Relationship is personal. Okay, for a while lang ha. Nag-bisyo ang laptop. Okay, the primary relationship is a matter of person. Okay, it exists because of them and it's sustained by them. It should be noted that this relationship comes to an end as soon as possible, or as soon as one of the partners disappears from the primary group. The personal relationship is non-transferable and irreplaceable. So ano yung ibig sabihin nun? Halimbawa, you have your best friend and your best friend died. Palayo lang. Sample lang ito ha. Halimbawa, your best friend died. Di ba kung namatay yung best friend mo, no one can substitute, no? In your heart, or no one can substitute her or his place, no, in your heart, no? No one can continue the same relations as what you have built, because the relationship that you have built for that particular person is personal, okay? It is genuine and it is intimate. Diba? Although magkaroon ka ng bagong best friend, no, bagong kaibigan, bagong or whatsoever, pero yung taong yun, no, yung place ng taong yun sa heart mo is no one can replace that, no. It is because your relationship towards that particular person is very personal, no. Kumbaga, talagang genuine yung relationship ng dalawa as best friend. Okay? And in the primary group class, we face our fellow as total human beings. Okay? A person comes to know his fellow in all the details of his life and as a whole being. A person in the primary group is not merely a legal entity, an economic cipher, or a technological cog. He or she is all this rolled into one. We considering the person as the complete concrete person. It thus becomes clear that in primary relationships are non-contractual, no, tandaan natin yan, non-economic, non-political, non-specialized, and they are personal, spontaneous, and sentimental, and inclusive. So halimbawa dito yung non-political. Diba, during the campaign period, during the campaign period, ayan, marami kayo dyan, grupo ng mga taga-supporters ng politika, pero after ng election, ang tanong, grupo pa rin ba kayo? No. 'Di ba? Usually mag-e-end yung grupo niyo. Tapos naman ang election, no? So that is an example of tawag nito. Hindi na yan siya magiging example ng primary group. Kasi nga, kumbaga, yung grupo nyo or yung relationship nyo with in that particular group, no, is contractual lang. After election, wala na, no? That is why you cannot consider that as your primary group. Okay? Okay, dokie? Now, the question class is, what is the importance of primary group? Sige nga, anyone? Anyone from the class? Can share? What do you think is the importance of primary group? So we have kanina example, no, ng primary group, your best friends, your family, no? It can be your partner, no? It can be your partner. It can be your peer, no? It can be the closest workmates, no? The closest classmates, no? The question now is, what is the importance of primary group? Tama talaga yan siya, ano? Sabi niya dito. Having narcissist best friend is toxic, no? We all deserve a true friend that will give us an assurance. No, di ba? Totoo talaga yan. And naniniwala ako sa ganyan. Yung hindi talaga purong kaplastikan lamang. No? They are the closest persons near you, aka emotional support groups. Yes, we can learn from primary group. Primary groups are important both to the individual as well as the society. They are particularly important in shaping the personality and formulating self-concepts and developing a sense of worth. Okay, and in becoming an accepted member of society. Very good, no? Very good, Benny. Okay, according naman kay primary group plays a very important role in the socialization process and exercises social control over them. With the help of primary group, we learn and use culture. They perform a number of functions for individual as well as the society, which show their importance. And it is important because it is the group wherein you feel comfort. Diba, halimbawa sa family natin, no? Our family is the best example of a primary group. Kasi nga, diba, in our family, bata pa lang tayo, no? Bata pa lang tayo, our family helping us, no? To mold us, no? On how to become a responsible member of a society. On how are we going to handle ourselves, no? To develop ourselves, our emotions, no? Even though our physical appearance, no? Andyan palagi yung family natin in order to support us, no? To help us, no? To sympathize, no? And in order for us to feel that we are really belong to the society, okay? It contributes to our growth, no? That is correct. That shape your basic values of life. Okay, thank you so much, no, for your answers. Okay, now we are done with our primary group. Now, let us proceed to another category of social group, which is the secondary group. Okay, so when we say secondary groups, it is secondary groups are larger, less intimate, no? So kanina, di ba, may mga nagtatanong kanina na yung magbe-best friend, halimbawa, yung isa, turing sa'yo, best friend, yung turing mo naman yung turing mo sa kanya, best friend, ang turing naman sa'yo ng best friend mo, hindi ka best friend kasi plastic lang siya sa'yo, no? Pwede natin siya i-belong sa ating secondary group, okay? Kasi nga kanina mayroon pwede siguro kasi may intimacy pa naman, okay? Okay, dito sa secondary groups, no? Secondary groups are larger, less intimate, and more specialized groups where members engage in an impersonal and objective-oriented relationship for a limited time. Okay? The secondary groups are of special significance in the modern industrial society, no? They have become almost inevitable today, no? Ngayon, lalong-lalo na sa mga teenagers, na sometimes mas gusto pang makasama ang barkada kaysa sa pamilya, no? It is maybe defined as those associations which are characterized by impersonal or secondary relations and specializations of functions. And they are also called a special interest groups or self-interest groups, no? The examples of secondary group is, like for example, yung political party, no? Corporation, an army, yung mga group of armies, a group of policemen, mga varsity players, no? A large crowd, and etc. These groups, no, have no direct bearing on the members. Here, members are too many and too scattered. Here, human contacts are superficial, undefined, and mechanical. Okay, so according to Nimpoff, no, tama bang pag-pronounce? The groups which provide experience lacking in intimacy are called secondary groups. Your relationship with each other is just like uncontractual, like for an example, in a varsity player, okay? Or in a varsity player group, you are just interacting, no, with each other during the practice, di ba? During the game, but after the game, no, the relationship ends also, okay? Sometimes some players will have no connections now or contacts with their teams or with their teammates, no? There is no intimacy in their relationship, no? It is just like your relationship is just for a game only, during the game only, no? And it is just for formality, okay? Yes, teammates, no? Kumbaga yung relationship nyo lang is parang contractual lang siya. Halimbawa, yun nga kanina, during Halimbawa, sa inyo, magka-classmates kayo, Pythagoras, no? Di ba graduating na kayo ngayon, no? You are already in grade 12. Okay. Pero hindi naman kayo lahat dito is magbe-best friend or closest to each other, di ba? Most especially ngayon is we're just conducting our class through online, no? Kumbaga, after this school year, 2021-2022, yung iba sa inyo is hindi na yan siya magko-connect, no? Na hindi na makipag-connect, no? Sa iba niyo pang classmates. Okay? Kumbaga, in your group, no? In your group, yung inyong relationship lang is contractual, no? Less intimate, no? Kumbaga, ang relationship nyo lang is being a classmates. Parang yun lang yan siya. Pero maliban na lang, no? Kung yung isa dito talaga is best friend nyo. And after this, pareho pa kayo nagplano paanong maging kurso nyo during your college days. Okay? Now, let us see or let us know the characteristics of secondary group in order for us to know more better, no? If how are we going to identify the secondary groups. Okay, first is large in size. Okay? Malalaman natin siya na secondary group siya if large in size. Diba kanina nga yung example ko, a group of policemen, a group of armies, diba? Kasi nga halimbawa, in a group of armies, no, after nila mag-retire dyan, wala naman yan, no? Wala na. Hindi na sila makipag-connect doon sa kanilang mga tawag nito, colleagues, no? Siyempre, family na yung maging grupo naman nila, no? Which is their primary group. Kumbaga, yung relationship nila doon sa mga kasamahan nila is doon lang, no? During lang nung naka-duty pa siya as an army. Okay? Next is formality. Formality, the relations of members in a secondary group are of a formal type. It does not exercise primary influence over its members, and secondary groups exert influence on the members indirectly, and they are controlled by formal rules and regulations. Informal means of social control are less effective in regulating the relations or relations of the of the members. Like for example, di ba, in a political party, no? You are one group, no? But during only for the campaign period. After that is wala na. Para kumbaga lang for formality, no? For formality na nakipag-interact ka doon sa mga kasamahan mo during the campaign period because maybe you are paid, no? You are paid for that. So, syempre, as your obligation for formality, no, you did your best or you did your task during that campaign period. Okay? So, ano pa ba? Halimbawa, yung mga clubs, no, like the Rotary clubs, ano pa ba? Yung mga very well known kasi sa atin dito is yung Rotary clubs, no? Diba? Mostly of them, no, they are interacting with each other. It is because they have seminars, webinars, or etc. No, just for formality. It is because they are in a one group as a Rotary Club members. But after that, no, after ng mga seminars or whatsoever, wala na. Balik ka pa rin doon sa yung primary group, which is your family, no? Okay. Next is impersonality. Impersonality, it is a secondary relations are impersonal in nature. In the large-scale organization, there are contacts and they may be face-to-face, but they are, as says, or yung sabi ni K. Davis, no, the touch and go variety. Here, no, contacts are chiefly indirect. The two persons may never see each other, and relations among them are impersonal because members are not very much interested in other members as persons. They are more concerned with their self-centered goals than with other persons, and there is no sentiment attaching to the contacts. No, like for example, no, tawag nito, sa inyong, halimbawa, sa loob ng isang opisina, okay? Sa loob ng isang opisina. Halimbawa, ikaw, halimbawa, employed ka na, no? After mo nag-duty, after 5 p.m. na yung naka-out ka na sa office, no? And yung turingan nyo doon sa loob ng opisina is just a secondary group lang, yung turingan nyo. Baga less intimacy siya. Okay. Then after that, tawag nito, tinawagan ka ng boss mo. Okay? Tinawagan ka ng boss mo. Pero yung tawag niya sa'yo, no, kumbaga, you are just interacting, no, with each other. Tapos yung pinag-usapan niyo naman is puros trabaho, 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 no? Halimbawa, ikaw naka-quarantine ka, tinawagan ka ng boss mo, pinag-usapan niyo naman puros trabaho, trabaho, no? Walang, kumbaga, it is just impersonal, no? Kasi nga, yung pinag-usapan niyo lang is that kung ano lang yung tawag nito, kung ano lang yung required, no? Kung ano lang yung goal, no? Nung itinawag niya. Kumbaga, hindi naman siya, diba? Kasi kung best friend mo yun, kung primary group, kukumustahin ka talaga niyan, which is very, tawag nito, syempre, halimbawa, naka-quarantine ka, nagkasakit ka, tapos tawagan ka ng boss mo para kausapin about work, no? Kumbaga, parang yung talagang relationship nyo is that for the for the work only, no? For the work only lang. Okay? Parang hindi siya talagang masyadong personal. Hindi siya deep, no, yung relationship mo with your boss. Purong trabaho lamang. Okay? Next is indirect cooperation. In indirect cooperation, it is another characteristics of secondary group, no? In it, members do different things interdependently, no? Contribute to the same result, but not in the same process. They do unlike things together. In the large-scale organizations where division of labor is complex, the members have not only different functions, but different powers, different degrees of participation, different rights, and different obligations. So like for example, in a club, di ba mayroon naman kayo diyang mga tawag nito, officers, no, in your club. You have your president, your vice president, secretary, and so on and so forth. Okay? So, kumbaga, yung function nyo dyan is naka-base lang, no? Naka-base lang siya doon sa kung ano yung function mo, kung ano yung role mo. Okay? Parang din siya, yung indirect na tawag nating indirect cooperation. You have you are doing, no, different things interdependently, but then as a result of that, no, iisa lang naman yung goals ninyo. Okay, kumbaga you are just doing it, no, in a different way, no, in a different way, but then yung result is only in same process. Kumbaga kung ano lang yung role mo, edi yun lang yung gawin mo, parang something ganun. Okay, number 5 is voluntary membership. When we say voluntary membership, the membership of the most secondary groups is not compulsory, but voluntary. Okay? Individuals are at the liberty to join or to go away from the groups. However, okay, there are some secondary groups like nations or the state whose membership is almost involuntary. Okay, so when we say secondary group class, no? Halimbawa, in a circle of tawag nito, yung mga tawag nito, di ba marami yung mga organizations, no, na pwede kang mag-render ng service mo voluntary. But then, mayroong mga secondary groups na kailangan tawag nito, you are really obliged, no? Di ba yung mga members ng ating mga men's in uniforms, di ba? They are considered a secondary group, no? Di ba? They are, kumbaga, they really render themselves, no? Na sa pangalan ng ganito, sa pangalan ng ating bayan, yung mga gunner, di ba? Kumbaga, mostly of their lives, doon na lang nila, tawag nito, doon na lang nila inuukol, no? Doon sa kanilang serbisyo, being an army or being a policeman. It is because that is part of their obligations, no? As a part of the groups, no? Here in our country. That is why, talagang oblig sila. Okay? Sige. Next is status depends upon role. Ano naman ito siya? In secondary groups, the status or position of every member depends on his role, no? The determination of his status is not influenced by ascription or by his birth or personal qualities, but the achievement or the role he plays. Yun. Yung kanina nga, like for example, no, the status of our president, no? For example, the status of the president in the trade union depends upon the role he plays in the union and not upon his birth. Okay, ito na lang. Yung example sa ating government, diba? We have our president, we have our mga undersecretaries, no? And each of them have different roles, no? Have different roles. And their functions, no? Their functions in their groups, no? Kasi nga, they are an elected a group of elected persons, no, here in our country, But then each of them has a different roles, no? Each of them has different functions. And kung ano lang yung functions nila, yun lang yung gagawin nila in their group. Kasi nga, di ba, like for example, the secretary of the ENR, marami pa rin yun kasi, isang grupo yan sila. Pero as a secretary, as the undersecretary, no, yung gagawin niya lang is, being a secretary sa DENR, hindi na siya makialam pa doon sa iba pang mga gabinete, no, ng ating bansa. Kasi nga, kung ano lang yung particular role niya, doon lang siya magpa-function. Okay? Naintindihan? Do you follow? Can I have a thumbs up if you can follow? Okay, thank you so much. Now let's proceed to the next slide. Okay naman, the question now is, di ba kanina kung yung primary group is very important for us because yun yung nag-mold sa atin, no? Yun yung nag-help sa atin in order for us to feel belong in our society. Ano naman, for you, what is the importance of secondary group? In your own, in your own feelings or in your own, kumbaga, sa iyong sarili talaga, okay? Hindi kasali yung mga nasa internet na mga answers, no? In your own self, okay? What is the importance for you of this secondary group? Anyone? You can raise your hand and you can also put your answer in our chat box. Okay, anyone from the class can share, no, in your own understanding or in your own self mismo. Bakit ba importante for you to have a secondary group? Dali?
For me, Miss, secondary group is important because it permits people who do not know one another intimately to perform or move effectively in their jobs po.
Yes, no, that's correct, no? Very good, Dali. Kasi sometimes, no, hindi lang yung primary group natin yung makatawag nito, makamold sa atin, no, on how to be an effective, no, or how to be a responsible member of society, no. Sometimes kailangan talaga natin magkaroon ng isang tinatawag na secondary group. It is for us to know, no, it is for us to know on how are we going or how for us to be or to know paano ba yung gaano ba ka-effective, no? Or paano ba tayo magpa-function na kung labas na tayo, halimbawa paglabas mo ng bahay, no? Paano mo malaman if yung function mo towards the society? Okay? That is why secondary group is very important. Yes, no, secondary groups are important because they tend to meet specific goals. Yeah, that's correct, no? Increases efficiency in our society and manage self-interest and specific goals. That is why, class, no, minsan, that is why kailangan din talaga natin makipag-interact, hindi lang doon sa kung sino yung nakasanayan natin, no? Minsan dahil, siya lang kasi yung kaibigan ko, that is why sa kanya lang ako lumalapit, no? Minsan hindi ganoon. We need, kailangan pa rin natin makipag-interact doon sa ibang tao, no? Para mas malaman natin, okay? Mas malaman natin kung ano ba yung function natin, kung ano ba talaga yung goal natin, kung ano ba yung, tawag nito, kung ano ba yung goal natin as a member of society. And kung gaano ba tayo ka-effective, no? Ka-effective as a responsible member of our society. Okay? Sige, thank you so much for your answers. Okay, let's proceed to the next slide. Okay, so we have here the advantages of secondary groups. First is efficiency. Efficiency, no? The secondary groups help its member to improve their efficiency in their specific field of activity and consequences. They become experts. The emphasis is on getting the job done, and the secondary relationships are instrumental in accomplishing certain specific tasks. And in this sense, they may be regarded as functional in character. So halimbawa doon kanina, halimbawa ikaw, isa kang varsity player. Diba? We have our coach, no? We have our coach. And that Hindi lang yung coach natin, yung mga kasamahan pa natin as a varsity player, no? They help us, no? They help us to improve pa, no? Kung ano yung pwede pa nating magawa. Halimbawa, basketball player ka or dancer ka, no? Halimbawa, dancer ka ng school. Of course, mayroon kayong mga ano-ano siya, mayroon kang mga choreographer ba tawag doon? I don't know, nakalimutan ko na. Kasi hindi ako dancer, sorry. Okay, so halimbawa, dancer ka, no? You have your members dyan sa loob ng grupo ninyo na pwedeng makatulong pa sa'yo, no? Can improve more your skills, no? Can improve your skills, can help you more to boost your self-confidence, no? And of course, can able to, tawag nito, kumbaga, ma-emphasize, no? Emphasize na in that particular field pala is magaling ka, no? Parang ganun yan siya, efficiency. That is why, kasi di ba, sometimes yung mother natin, even though hindi tayo magaling sumayaw, hindi tayo magaling kumanta, pero para sa mother natin, magaling tayo. Okay? Magaling tayo palagi pagdating sa ating pamilya. That is why, no? Tawag nito, kailangan talaga natin ng secondary group, no? In order for us to improve more, no? Na kahit sa mata nating nanay, alam na natin hindi tayo magaling, pero sila magaling. Pero at least doon sa yung secondary group, doon mo talaga malalaman, no? Na ito pala talaga yung skills ko. Totoo pala talaga sabi ng nanay kung magaling pala talaga ako. Okay? Sige. Next is wider outlook. Wider outlook, the secondary group broadens the outlook of its members. It accommodates a large number of individuals and localities, which widens the outlook of its members. It is more universal in its judgment than the primary group. Okay? And next is wider opportunities. Okay? Wider opportunities, the secondary groups have open channel and opportunities a large number of professions and occupations are opening the way for specialized careers. Di ba sometimes nga, mas maraming kaibigan, mas maraming kilala, mas okay, no? Kasi nga, mas marami kang kilala, mas marami kang tinatawag na connection, no? Kasi halimbawa, like for example, you're going to apply for a job, no? Halimbawa, member ka ng isang napakalaking organisasyon, no? Member ka ng yan, o mayroon kang kakilala doon sa organization na yon. And that particular person, you can make that, no? Or you can use that, no? That particular person as your yung tinatawag mo sa resume na reference, kumbaga, mayroon kang backer, no? Wider opportunities. Through the help of that particular person, no? Pwede kang makapasok on that particular job na hindi ka na dadaan pa sa butas ng karahay mo, no? 'Di ba? Do you agree of that? Kasi sa panahon ngayon, no? Ako naniniwala talaga ako diyan na kahit cum laude ka pa, tapos yung kalaban mo maraming backer, yun pa rin yung makukuha sa trabaho. Do you agree of that? That is why, no? Tama yan. The more the merrier, but the more, no? The more people you have, no? The more connections you have. Okay? And that is also one of the advantages of the secondary groups. Mayroon akong chika. Hindi. Mayroon ako kasing kilala, no? Mayroon akong kilala na. She's a group or she's a member of, tawag nito, Rotary Club, no? Rotary Club. And promise, ang dami-dami niyang kilala talaga dito sa Coronadal. And ngayon, connected na siya sa ano. And because of that particular, nakapasok na siya sa DepEd. And kaming lahat ng mga kaibigan niya, nakikiconnectan kami sa kanya kasi, like for example, kailangan mo ng ganito, kailangan mo ng ganito. We can please her, no? We can please her. And, tawag nito, sa tulong ng mga kaibigan niya, na talagang masasabing mong nasa taas ng mga ganun-ganunan, mapadali talaga yung halimbawa transaction mo kasi nga mayroon tutulong sa'yo. Kaya much better talaga na marami ka ding kakilala. Okay? Okay, so can I have a thumbs up if you can proceed to the next slide? Okay, thank you so much, Barbie, for your thumbs up. Now we have here the in-group and, okay, the categories of social group. We have here the in-group and out-group. Okay, who can explain the in-group? Anyone from the class can explain what is in-group? Just raise your hand. Yes, Dali?
In-group is a group to which one belongs and which one feels a sense of identity po.
Okay, very good, Dali, no? When we say in-group, it is a group to which one belongs and with which one feels a sense of identity. So halimbawa, no? Like for example, si Dali pumunta ng abroad, no? Pumunta si Dali ng abroad. Pagdating niya ng abroad, mayroon siya nakita a group of Filipino, no? A group of Filipino talking in Tagalog, no? Talking in Tagalog. Siyempre, si Dali, mas bago doon, basta kabayan talaga, no? Lalapitan mo yun siya, kabayan, no? And you're going to interact with them, no? And with that, no, you can, even though hindi mo sila kilala, no? Personally, hindi mo sila kilala personally, but you can feel, no, the sense of identity and you can feel the sense of belongingness. It is because being a Filipino, no, in that particular country, no, parang mayroon na kayong connection with each other. And you can say to yourself that you belong in that particular group, no? Kasi nga tawag nito, mayroon na kayong connection, and that connection is for being a Filipino and tawag nito, the same culture and the same language na ginagamit. Okay? Parang yun siya yung example ng in-group, no? Halimbawa, isa pang halimbawa, tagang Coronadal ka, and of course, you are Ilongga, no? You are talking Hiligaynon, okay? Pumunta ka ng, tawag ito, Manila, di ba yung mga tao sa Manila, mostly Tagalog speaking, no? Tapos may nakita ka doon, or mayroon kayo narinig a group of people talking in Ilonggo, no? And, of course, ikaw, no? Tatanungin mo sila, ay, saang lugar ka, no? Kahit hindi pa sila taga Coronadal, basta Ilonggo, you're going to talk with them, no? It is because, for you, you are belong, no? You can feel the essence of belongingness, no? The essence of identity. It is because you are the same Ilonggo, no? And you are both talking in Hiligaynon. Parang doon, no? And in that, parang mayroon na kayong connection with each other. Okay? Do you follow? Okay, Doki? Okay, next is the out-group. What about naman sa out-group? Who can, who can explain? Sige. Ruby Lynn?
Out-group is a group to which one does not belong and to which one feels a sense of competitiveness and hostility.
Okay, very good, Ruby Lynn. No? When we say out-group, it is a group to which one does not belong and to which one feels a sense of competitiveness and hostility. Like for example, in a group, ano ba, sa loob ng classroom ninyo, okay? Mayroong mga grupo ng mga mayayaman, di ba? Tapos, syempre, di ba, minsan ganoon talaga sa loob ng tawag nito, in your classroom, kung sila yung mga mayayaman, sila lang din yung magkakasama, no? Something ganon. Okay. Halimbawa, ikaw, no? Alam mo sa sarili mo na you are not really belong to the first class, okay? Hindi ka talaga belong sa first class. And mayroong grupo sa inyong classmates na talagang halos sila na sa first class lahat and they are in one group, okay? And in that, no, you can really say that you are really not belong kasi nga sometimes mayroon silang mga gala, kailangan ng gastos na malaki, no? Siyempre, ikaw, hindi mo naman yan siya afford, no? Hindi mo siya afford. And you can really feel the out of place, no? Yan yung minsan yung ma-feel natin, di ba? Parang out of place ka kasi hindi ka belong sa grupo nila. Okay? And sometimes, di ba, mayroon talagang mga masasabang mga classmates na ganyan, no? Na, alam mo na nga sa sarili mo na hindi ka belong sa kanila, tapos they made you feel talaga na hindi ka talaga belong sa kanila. Parang ang sasama nila, no? Okay, that is an example of out-group. Okay? Naintindihan? Can I have a thumbs up if naintindihan? Okay, one more example, no? Yun nga, mayayaman, no? Mostly of their gadgets, mostly of their cell phones, iPhones, whatsoever, ano ba yung pinaka-latest ngayon? Lahat sila bumili ng pinaka-latest. And ikaw yung cellphone mo, nasa ano ka pa? Nasa 3310 ka pa, di ba? Palahang panikupong-kupong. And syempre sila, mga social sila. Syempre ikaw ma-out of place ka naman kasi yung gadget mo ganito lang, no? And you can feel na hindi ka talaga belong sa grupo nila. Okay? That is an out group, no? Out group, okay. Next, let us proceed to the next category of social group, which is reference group. Okay? When we say reference group, a group to which an individual compare themselves, such as group strongly influences an individual behavior and social attitude, and it is considered as role model since the individual uses it as a standard for self-assessment. Networks refers to the structure of relationships between social actors or groups. These are interconnections, ties, linkages between people and their groups and the larger institution which belong to it. So, halimbawa, no? Halimbawa, ikaw, sino ba dito sa inyo ang dancer? Nakita ko si Barbie, no? Barbie, are you a dancer? Okay. Sino ba yung iniidolo mo na group of dancers here in the Philippines? Yung lagi mong ginagaya, yung mga ganun. Mayroon ka bang ginagaya or yes, Barbie?
Parang wala.
Parang wala.
Philippines kasi. Pero sa
sige.
marami po.
Okay, sige. What about from the other countries?
Blackpink.
Hey, Blackpink, no? Lagi mo ba silang ginagaya, yung Blackpink?
Di ma'am. Parang yung uso lang, nasayaw nila.
Yung naging uso lang. Okay, that is an example of reference group. Like for example, si Barbie dancer, no? She's a dancer. And, tawag nito, idol niya, yung Blackpink, no? And that particular group, the Blackpink, is considered as the reference, no? Or reference group of Barbie, no? For being a dancer. Kasi nga, ginagaya niya, no? She's, kumbaga, example lang she's acting, no? She's, tawag nito, she's acting, no? She's dancing, no? Na parang katulad ng Blackpink, no? Kasi gusto niyang magaya, kasi nga, gusto niya yung Blackpink, no? As a dancer, no? Si Barbie, as a dancer, yung Blackpink is her reference, no? Because Blackpink may be a great dancer, no? When it comes to dancing, and they are considered as the standard of Barbie, no, when in terms of dancing. Kumbaga, yung Blackpink na grupo, yun yung naging reference group ni Barbie when it comes to dancing. Kasi yun yung naging standard niya. Gusto niya laging gayahin yun. Gusto niya yung mga actions ng Blackpink, gusto niyang ginagaya. It is because that is her reference in terms of dancing. So halimbawa, ikaw naman, singer ka, no? Halimbawa, singer ka. Tapos ang ina-idol mo in singing group. Ano ba mga sikat na singing group ngayon? Can you give me an example of a sikat na singing group? Yung group yung group. Sige, ito na lang. Si Sarah Geronimo. Halimbawa, si Sarah Geronimo ang idol mo, no? So ikaw as a singer, yung reference mo ay si Sarah Geronimo, no? Kung baka ginagaya mo yung kanyang the way Sarah sings, no? Yung mga paano ba yung mga actions niya diyan? Kung kumanta siya, paano ba yung mga tono niya or whatsoever, okay? As a person, as a singer, si Sarah si Sarah is considered as your reference, okay? Reference group. Okay? In short class, no, when we say reference group, it is your standard, no? It is your standard in your own selves na the way you act, no? The way you behave in our society. Like for example, in a particular naman na tawag nito, sa dancing, sa singing, and whatsoever. Okay? Naintindihan? Si Rowie daw, hip-hop. Okay, Rowie, sino ba yung idol mo na dancer group dito sa Pilipinas? Sana all singer, no? Sana all. Extreme, yan ba yung tawag nito? Iba tatuturo na daw yung extreme dancers?
Yes, ma'am.
Parang mga ka-batchmates ko yan sila sa Kian before. May extreme dancers. Para yan sila mga sikat na mga dancers sa Kian. I don't know lang hindi ko lang, pero parang, ma-remember ko lang. Di ba? They are your reference as a dancer, no? Extreme dancers. Ano pa ba? Dati sa Kian, marami kaming mga doon mga group of dancers, no? Yung Kalilangan dancers, Sinuyaw dancers. Ayun, no, sa city, no? Yan sila. Kumbaga, kung sila yung ina-idolize mo, hindi yun yung reference mo. Okay? Naintindihan? Okay. Let's proceed na to the next slide. Okay, sige. Si, tawag nito, si Rowelyn natakot siya ipasample, hindi daw tuon. Sige. Next is the networks. Ano naman itong tinatawag natin na networks? Okay, a network, a set of relations, links, or ties among social actors, no? And that is according to Caroline Purcell, 2008. A social network is a series of web of weak and social ties involving people or groups of individuals connected to each other, such as through friendship, family, business, relationship, academic institutions, religious organizations, and socio-political clubs. Okay? Okay, like for example, no, yung tinatawag natin networks. Paano ba i-explain itong networks? So halimbawa, ikaw, no, ikaw ito. Mayroon kang kaibigan. So halimbawa, yung kaibigan ng kaibigan mo, okay, but there are 4 involved person. Kikita niyo ba yung kamay ko? Okay, there are 4 involved person. Ikaw ito, okay? Ikaw ito, and ito yung kaibigan mo, magkakilala kayong dalawa. Ito yung kaibigan ng kaibigan mo, hindi mo siya kilala. Hindi kayo magkakilala, okay? Ito, at saka yung third. Itong fourth naman, itong fourth na kaibigan ng kaibigan mo is, or ito sila, yung second at saka itong last is magkaibigan, and then, hindi ito siya ikaw, hindi mo siya kilala, yung fourth, pero yung fourth, kilala ka niya. Okay? Okay, ulitin ko ha. Halimbawa, 4 kayo. Ikaw itong sa una, ikaw magkaibigan kayo. Itong first and second is magkaibigan. Okay? Tapos yung kaibigan mo na second is may kaibigan itong third. Pero ikaw, hindi mo siya kilala, yung third. And then, yung kaibigan mo na isa na yon is that mayroon pang isang kaibigan. Okay? Mayroon pa siyang kaibigan. Yung second mo na kaibigan, mayroon pang isang kaibigan. Okay? And then, yung friends mo na yon, okay? I mean, yung friend ng friend mo na yon, kilala ka. Okay? Pero hindi mo siya kilala. Okay? There will be a possibility class. Okay? Na ito, dahil kilala ka niya, okay? Kilala niya ito sa mong kaibigan, there will a possibility na kayong dalawa is magiging magkaibigan in the near future. It is because mayroon kayong connection, which is your second friend. And there is also a possibility na kayong apat, no? Kayong apat is magiging magkaibigan. It is because mayroon kayong isang network na lahat kayo kaibigan. Although in the first place hindi mo naman kilala itong dalawang ito. Okay? Naintindihan nyo ba? There is a possibility na kayong apat is magiging magkaibigan because mayroon kayong isa dito sa second na network na itong second, ito siya, kaibigan niya ito, and kaibigan niya ito. And this will be the way na magiging magkaibigan kayo and ito yung magiging network nyong apat. Okay? Naintindihan? Can I have a thumbs up if naintindihan ninyo? Kumbaga, ito sa second friend, ito yung maging network, no? Na magiging magkaibigan kayong lahat. Kasi nga, kilala niya kayong lahat. Although ikaw, hindi mo siya kilala, hindi mo ito kilala, pero kilala ka, no? Pero there is, mayroon talagang possibility na magiging magkaibigan kayong apat. Kasi mayroon kayong isa, no? Na tawag nito, na network, no? Na pwedeng dahilan or can be a way na magiging magkakilala kayong apat. Like for example, di ba sa Facebook, no? Like for example, mayroon tayong tawag nito, mayroon tayong mutual friends or mayroon nag-add sa atin, di ba? Before we're going to accept that particular person, itingnan natin kung mayroon tayong mutual friends, no, doon sa kanya, di ba? And yung mutual friends na yon, that will be your way, no? Kumbaga, yun yung naging network mo, na maging magkaibigan kayo. Kaya that is why inaccept mo siya, no? Inaccept mo siya. It is because mayroon kayong tinatawag na mutual friends. And yung mutual friends na yun yung naging network niyo. That is why inaccept mo siya as a friend in Facebook. Okay, naintindihan? And I have a thumbs up if naintindihan yung network, class.